Nestled in the folds of the mountains, the village of Eldergrove lay shrouded in a blanket of mist, perpetually cast in the twilight of sorrowful memories. Stone houses, their walls cloaked in creeping ivy, rose defiantly from the earth, each one whispering secrets as crickets sang their nightly lullabies. Curiously, the village lacked the sounds of laughter. A heavier hush seemed to hang in the air, as if even the wind held its breath. Underneath the gnarled branches of an old oak, Sophia stumbled upon a crumbling gravestone, its mossy surface obscuring the name etched long ago. The faded inscription hinted at a life once cherished, now buried beneath layers of neglect. As she traced the letters with her fingertips, a chill skittered down her spine, and she instinctively glanced over her shoulder, half expecting to find a specter looming behind her. With each step she took down the cobbled path, whispered warnings swirled around her like the swirling fog. Elders spoke of Nanamere, the ghostly figure seen drifting between the trees on moonless nights. And though Sophia rolled her eyes at the tales, a gnawing unease began to bloom within her. The air thickened, laden with the scent of damp earth and decay, as if the very soil mourned its long-buried past. Emerging into a clearing, the moon broke through the clouds, casting an eerie glow on a dilapidated mansion that rose like a specter from the shadows. Ivy choked the stone facade, and shards of glass gleamed like malevolent eyes in the night. This was the Barlow estate, lost to time and tragedy, said to have harbored the tragic love story of Nanamere and a forbidden suitor. Only a fool would dare enter. Very few possess the courage or the foolishness. Compelled by an insatiable curiosity, Sophia pushed through the creaking door, and it groaned in protest, the sound echoing like the last breath of a sleeping giant. Inside, the air was stagnant, heavy with ages of dust that sparkled faintly in the moonlight. Furniture draped in white sheets stood as ghostly sentinels, guarding the memories of laughter long silenced. But unseen shadows danced in the corners of her vision. Drawing closer to the grand staircase, Sophia's heart raced as she noticed strange markings on the walls, like frantic fingers clawing at the plaster. A chill washed over her, as though the house itself were alive, its gaping maws and hollowed eye sockets silently critiquing every decision she made. An involuntary shiver ran through her, yet her feet refused to retreat. Amidst the oppressive silence, a soft sound pulled her attention upward. A light footfall, barely audible, echoed from the upper floor. Could it be a trick of her mind? Or was she not alone, after all? Shadows shifted, elongating across the floorboards like tendrils of smoke. And with bated breath, she summoned the courage to ascend the winding staircase. Each step felt weighted with memory. At the top, the dimly lit hallway stretched out before her, framed by portraits of stern ancestors with eyes that seemed to follow her every move. The air crackled with anticipation, and Sophia found herself drawn to the farthest door. The wood worn and splintered, as if it had been locked away for centuries. She hesitated. The house whispered the names of those who had entered, but not all had left. Pushing the door ajar, she was met with the pungent scent of old roses, and the interior cascaded with soft, silvery moonlight. In the center of the room stood an ornate mirror, its frame intricately carved with ivy and thorns. In that moment, it felt as though the mirror breathed, alive with the weight of stories layered within its depths, and Sophia was transfixed. Her reflection, however, appeared ethereal, as if she were not truly there. Suddenly, the air turned icy, and an unseen presence brushed against her cheek, sending a cascade of goosebumps racing down her arms. With a breath hitching in her throat, Sophia stepped closer, the world around her fading into shadows. Rippling like water, the mirror surface shimmered, and then, within it, she beheld the visage of a woman, hauntingly beautiful yet sorrowful, her eyes overflowing with unfulfilled longing. In that suspended moment, Nanamere whispered tales of heartache, her voice melodic yet tainted with despair. She spoke of lost love, of promises broken like fragile glass, and Sophia's heart ached in response. Caught between the allure of the past and the weight of the present, tears glistened in the specter's eyes, and Sophia could feel the touch of sorrow woven into the very fabric of her being. A sudden crash echoed from behind her, shattering the enchantment. Startled, Sophia whirled around to find the door swinging open, the disturbance pulling her back from the threshold of the past. Shadows writhed in the corners, and a low wail filled the air, resonating with the ache of 1,000 sorrowful tales. The tendrils of the haunting were tightening their grip around her, and panic surged within. Gasping, she turned back to the mirror, just in time to see Nanamere reach out across the dimensions, her spectral fingers stretching towards Sophia, as if to draw her into another time, another life steeped in melancholy. But dread rolled over her like a wave, the instinct for survival igniting a fire in her veins. Mustering her resolve, Sophia tore herself away from the mirror's grasp, racing back down the staircase. With the echoing footsteps of long-forgotten lovers trailing behind, she fled the mansion, the air thickening with the weight of unfulfilled promise and lingering sorrow. The night sky loomed over her like a shroud, yet she felt a surge of liberation as she burst into the open air. Eldergrove enveloped her in its embrace, but in her heart, the unquenchable longing for answers remained, as haunting as Nanamere's whispers. The village drifted into the distance behind her, the moon casting a solitary glow over the mansion that now felt both like a refuge and a prison. The fog enveloped the landscape, thickening until the world around her felt dreamlike, untethered. Yet within the depths of her soul, she knew she had uncovered something deeper, a connection to love eternal, entwined with the specters of the past.